Hey, JDL Brushes here, and we're going to try something different today. This time I think we're going to do things live and in real time, and I think this will help not only save time because I am trying to kind of balance all sorts of things in my life, and I think being more direct will help kind of save time. Excuse me. But also, I think it can also help my work because I feel like if my sketches, or at least for now, if my sketches are kind of like done very meticulously, is that the word? Because I feel like I'm being too tight with my work. You know what I mean? And I want to be more flamboyant with my brushstrokes or sketch lines, right? And I actually have like 3 more of these where I did a rough sketch, and I was gonna do a I was gonna do a kind of an ink over with the kind of with some custom fine liners that I did on the side or made on the side, but I'm not going to do that. And this time I'm going to try and be more kind of just direct with my sketch, and I'm going to make it as nice as possible. And I think I'm going to try and limit it to about 30 minutes more or less, and see how a sketch can look like with that kind of time limit. Now I may go over. I know I'll definitely go or not go more than an hour, and I usually just limit my videos to about an hour when doing sketches, even if it's time lapsed. So yeah, so let's start with we'll click the kind of first brush here and reduce it just to about an 8, like that, or maybe a 7. Maybe a 7. Right now, I won't be following the original rough lines that I did with some pencils. I'm going to try and kind of use that as a base, but not be so tight with the line work. Right? So, I'm actually kind of nervous. Oh my god! So let's do that. And I'm going to make it as kind of I'm going to avoid using maybe not necessarily avoid, but I'm going to try and be more manual with it and kind of let my hand do most of the line work, right? And I want some of those kind of mistakes. Right, something like that. Maybe this brush is a bit too big. I do think it's a little too big, but fuck it. I'm going to do that. And it's actually kind of odd sketching while talking, right? I don't know. Let's hide the kind of rough sketch beneath. I think I'm trying to I want to balance out my kind of brushstrokes and not fill up every single thing. Like, I want the kind of these ink lines to not necessarily be fully complete. Like, I want to leave out some edges so I can just kind of let the viewer kind of fill in the gaps. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll try again. Let's just delete this and Again, I'm limiting myself to 30 minutes ish. I'd maybe a 6 size brush is better. Yep. I want to make it like look sketchy, because I feel that's what the marker brushes are best for, like sketches. Because I think I'm trying to be too rendered with my see that? Just leaving in some gaps maybe. And I also want my lines, my ink work, to be a little more confident and kind of bold. There's this kind of guy. I think he's dead now. Hopefully not. But I think his name is Jeremiah something. Shit. He's a kind of interior. He does a lot of interior illustrations in gouache, and if you look at his strokes, it has so much confidence, and I want some of that in my not just my marker strokes, but also my line work, a little bit in my line work. See that? That's very sketchy, right? So right now I'm using the kind of first brush, marker brush, a fine brush, and the brush size is at 6. So just saying. And usually I would use the kind of shift technique where let's say you place the pen tip on a certain point and then you hold shift and then you click the other shit and then you kind of do that. But I feel like it's so mechanical, and I want things to be a little more sketchy and kind of dynamic, bold, confident. Just yeah. Now I am using a graphic tablet and not a kind of Cintiq type of tablet, and it will affect the way you draw because you won't be as precise as compared to using a Cintiq or the classic pen and paper. But eventually you can kind of get really close to that level. Now, whenever I'm doing my vertical lines, I am holding down the shift key, just cause I think it's fine. And I don't want to fill out everything, right? Just some essential lines. And it doesn't have to be too perfect. And I think that's what makes a good sketch, the kind of imperfections. And along of course with the kind of boldness of your strokes. Because sketches generally do have a little more energy than say a finished illustration. And that goes for all sorts of illustrations. Is that good enough? You know what? Let's just make it a quick line, quick dash. Now this is really fucking sketchy, but hey, it's okay. No judgy. Don't be judgy. You know what? Let's hide. Let's just minimize the opacity to I don't know, 15%. Okay, not bad. Now let's do some kind of big black dark marker strokes. Let's use this one right here. and we'll use a kind of 70 sized brush point. Oh, look at that. No, just the main strokes. I want to be graphical with the blacks and kind of make it shits. How do I do this? Maybe a little bit of there. And now for the reference photo, it's pretty dark, and I should be a little more kind of creative, or take more creative liberty in deciding how I want to change things. And not be so dependent on the reference photo, right? What are the big strokes, the big graphical strokes? Okay, and maybe a little bit of that. Now I could use the lasso tool to be more specific with the kind of lines or the strokes. Cause but you know what? Fuck it. This time, nada. I ain't doing that shit. I am being artistic. And just the big ones. Oh, maybe a little bit of that. Doesn't have to be exact, it just has to look cool and bold. And see that? Oh, this one is not entirely flat compared to the pillows. Maybe do a little bit of dips and dips. Dips, dips, dips. Kind of suggest that it's not entirely oh, even the you know what, fuck it. Let's I think we can fix that with the now we've got some kind of thick where can we add more? I feel like there's so much going on here, so maybe put one here. And then I don't know, shit. I'm struggling. You know what, not bad. Let's just leave it at that, okay? We'll see how it looks like in the end. So let's make a new layer and kind of use a smaller brush this time to kind of help with some side elements. Maybe this guy, the last one. Maybe maybe this guy, or this guy. You know what? No, I like this guy better. Or this guy, or this guy, or this guy. And then we'll decrease it to about a 30 sized brush to kind of help with some of, maybe 25. Nice. Okay. Right. And whoa, be more expressionistic. And I do like the kind of mistakes in the side, because it does remind me of natural traditional markers where there are a lot of bleeds, especially if you're using copy paper, like normal print paper. It does have its kind of aesthetic, which I am quite fond of. Let's kind of suggest this kind of a thing of a bob. Just, you know. Fuck me. Something like that. Oh, do you see that? It doesn't have to be perfect, Dave. Alright, relax. So these are just some kind of supplementary lines. So let's decrease it to about 15, the brush, or 10, the brush. And let's kind of help establish or kind of define the perspective just a little bit. And I know there's a kind of light part here, so we can use that. We can use a line to kind of define that edge. And I think it looks pretty cool. It can be kind of an abstract kind of thing. Whoa, dude. Now a little bit of shadow. Now our brush size is at 30. And let's kind of suggest these folds on top. Just pew, 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 pew. And now we're at 20, the brush size, and then just doesn't have to be perfect, right? Relax, it's gonna be aight. And then maybe a little bit of shading on the bottom. Let's go back to this. Maybe let's try, let's go back to this guy. And 70, right? No. It's too, we already have kind of enough thick marker stuff. So let's go for something small. We'll go back to that one. And make the brush size at 25 or 20. Okay. And I think it's good to have a kind of a variety of line weights, because it helps to not make your sketch look monotonous and kind of boring, right? Oh, alright. So I think let's do one more layer, and we'll do some kind of finer lines, kind of essential little suggestions of stuff. And then maybe something like that. To kind of indicate some of those kind of folds, right? I think it's cool. Now we are using the kind of first brush, and the size right now is at 6. So we want to kind of define that kind of carpet thing. And we want our kind of line strokes to kind of go with the perspective. I think that's about right there. Okay. And maybe some reflective, just some slight indications of reflection. Make it more like that. Whoa, I mean, not bad. Hey, it even looks like a kind of painting. Whoa, such a master. Okay, and then maybe do that, and then just do a bit of shading right there. Oh, maybe not. Just a little bit of a... Wow, you're being so kind of artistic. Fuck it, it's good enough. And whenever I do my lines, I make sure I kind of do that, or do that, where there's a kind of a bleed and not a kind of light flicker. It just looks better that way and more kind of bold. I think we can leave it at that. Whoa, come on. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Maybe we'll do some kind of big shadows with maybe this guy. This guy is kind of the softest of the marker brushes. So we'll use a kind of darker, maybe a 25. Let's set it at 25. And then we'll make sure that we're doing this on a new layer under multiply mode, kind of like that. And we'll make sure that the brush size is at 80. I think that's a good enough size. Okay, let's be graphical as well with the kind of shadows. Oh shit, it's been 21 minutes, fuck. So we have about 10 minutes or 9 minutes. I still have to do some kind of coloring, but you know, we can go just beyond 30 minutes. So let's kind of do that. Okay, and then maybe a little bit of shadow there, right? And then kind of do that, yeah. Or is it too much? What do you guys think? I think it's too much. You know what? We're experimenting right now. So just kind of go with the flow and just see how it goes. And a little bit of those bleeds. Is it too much? How about you try and finish it first? Oof. Critic. Critic. So do that. Okay. Whoa. And for marker sketches, for marker kinds of illustrations, I think it's really cool to kind of let things kind of fade out like that and not necessarily fill out the entire thing. It just looks more sketchier and more cool. You know, for illustrations and stuff, or any kind of visual thing, it doesn't always have to kind of make sense or be kind of logical. It just has to feel cool or look cool. Now that's just kind of my take on kind of let's make this thinner. And you know what, we'll add a little more shadow on this one and just make it look more. And maybe the pillows slightly. And then maybe some of that kind of shadow right here. Holy fucking shit, that actually looks like a marker sketch. I am a god. So I just duplicated the first lines. Shit, fuck me. So this is my original kind of line work in the beginning, and then I duplicated that to make it slightly thicker. Because I feel like it's if you kind of add in the strokes, the varied kind of strokes in different line weights, and you add in the shadows. The original kind of line work looks pretty thin, so we can just duplicate that, and there you go. Or is it too strong? Let's just make it a 50%, the new one. So let's so there is some kind of difference, but yeah, okay, I'm happy. So let's move on, or maybe a little more of the shadows right here. Just maybe a little bit on the curtains and stuff. And then just here, shit, to kind of whoa! Look at the that is so confident. Let's make it a 50 brush size right there. Oof. It's not working. That's good enough. And then maybe a little bit of a color here or a shadow here, just to make it because it's some kind of abstract painting or something. And maybe in the corners, just a little bit. And just a little more. Okay. And maybe see this part right here would kind of just make a quick suggestion of that. It's like that. What if we lighten the shadows just a little bit and like kind of decrease the opacity? Or you know what, we'll just change the kind of levels, Control L, and then, you know, decrease it to, I don't know. Because I don't want the shadows to completely compete with the kind of black stuff. So perhaps a 100. But I'll also be adding some colors, so for now let's put it to about 50. 50. Or maybe a 25. Good enough. Okay. Now let's do some colors. Now I do feel it's getting a little cluttered. You know what? Let's turn off the shadows a bit. That's actually not a bad looking sketch. I feel like I'm doing too much if I add the shadows. You know what? Let's hide the shadows for a while and just do some basic coloring. We'll use maybe this brush right here. Now, whenever I would do these kinds of sketches, I would always kind of color pick the reference photo, and usually my sketches would end up boring as fuck, and I need to be more confident with how I choose my colors and not totally depend on the color picking stuff. So let's take some initiative and you know, be more proactive with our colors. So we can still use this as a kind of reference, but so this is a brown, obviously, so maybe something lighter. Let's increase the brush size at kind of 70, because the original brush sizes are at 50. So yeah, okay, not bad. Is it too dark? And then maybe just okay, will not completely fill out every single thing. Now we're working on the kind of base colors, right? Just the base. And again, we want the kind of look of it's kind of fading out and not everything is kind of filled in, right? Because it is still a sketch. And the pillows, is black? Come on, it's kind of boring. Maybe something analogous or close to that color. A yellow, brown, maybe something more not as saturated. Because we can always kind of saturate things later. Shit. Okay, I'm very kind of cautious with the colors. You know what? Let's not be cautious. Let's be bold. Let's approach this with courage. You know, I am really liking the this whole thing. But you know what? Let's go for the colors. Shit, it's been 31 minutes so far, so fuck. Let's push on, my brothers and sisters. So I do like the yellows. Just a little bit of that. Maybe I don't like it. Just kind of do the walls thing. I don't know. Is it working? Is it working? I don't understand. Maybe one more. You know what? Let's leave it at that. Something like that. For the flooring, let's make it a little lighter. And I actually want to give or put more white space and kind of let the canvas show through. Now, if ever I don't like this, I can always just post the kind of this. But I don't want to be that guy. So there are some reds. Let's make it more. A little lighter. Okay, so that's good enough. Let's pick out this and then... You know what? We're working on the base colors. Think of base colors as the kind of flats of the whole thing. We can always... okay, maybe this one. What if we turn on the shadows right now? Holy shit, there's so much going on. It's a little fucked up. But is it? Again, I feel like I'm filling out the wall too much. Let's turn off the shadows. Shit. Fuck me. You know what? I don't like this. I don't like this part. Shit. I ran out of undos. Arigataimasu. Sensei plate. Okay, remember, we don't have to fill out every single thing. Alright? Relax, Dave, relax. And we're working also on the flats, on the kind of base colors on which we can kind of add darker or lighter shades after. Okay, flats. Okay. You know what? I don't like if everything here is kind of brown. Okay, so we're in the kind of reds. Let's find something cooler. Whoa. Do you see that? Doesn't even have to be complete, just do that. Oh. Oh shit, dude. These marker brushes are the best. You know, you could actually do this with just the kind of default Photoshop circle brush. And then just kind of flatten it just a little bit. And I think you can kind of achieve the same thing. Because it's not really about the tools. It's about the... Whoa. It's about the... Oh, I am using a darker shade. Why? You know what? Let's be bold. Fuck it. Let's make this darker. And add some... I don't like it. Darker? No, darker. I said darker. Blackout lights. Our arrows will block out the sun. Then we will fight in the shade. That's some 300 references there. It's too light. Let's make it darker. Come on, Dave. Do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Power pose. Okay. It's a little too saturated for me. So let's go darker. Wow. You are fierce. Hey. Let's add more darker. And then for this one, yeah. We'll make it darker there. Oh. Let's remove this because it's bothering me. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, it's kind of okay. Although I feel like it's a little... Let's kind of fill out the center especially. And let's kind of play with the layers and stuff. Something lighter. Now we're doing this in kind of in the bottom of all of the colors. Right? Something like that. Is it working? I don't understand. I don't understand. Let's fill out the walls here. Come on. Do it. You are brave. Alright? You're strong. You are a strong individual. Something lighter than this. So maybe something a little more on top. Oh my Lord. Bless him, for he has transgressed. Yeah, I want to see that kind of breaks in the marker. Because if I keep doing this, it starts to look kind of boring, right? So kind of help break things down a little bit. What if we turn on the shadows again? Whoa, it's just a fucking mess. Let's say we change the hues. Shit. Or I'll change the kind of color of the shadows. No. Maybe, you know what, fuck it. Let's just hide the shadows. This one is good enough, right? Let's not... Oh shit, I did it again. Alright, so again, we're focusing on filling out these parts right here. Shit. This one is a little lighter. Oops. Just a little lighter. It's too saturated. Just so this one is about the same color. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, I think this is enough. Shit. We need this. Excuse me. So we have a kind of a bluish hue here. We have a reddish hue here. We have a yellowish kind of hue here. So it's kind of, it has a little bit of everything. So maybe a green. A green lampshade. Let's make this even more yellow. Jesus, come on. And just add a little more color there. And just transfer some of that to this kind of a abstract thing. And maybe even to the pillows. Just a little bit. And then maybe some of that here. Oh, you know what? Maybe a darker shade. Just like that. Wow. And maybe a little bit of that. Let's bring some of that over here. Just to suggest, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect so. Okay, let's kind of zoom out. Is it working? I believe it is. I believe it is. Let's add some darker shades here. Just a little bit. And work our way up. And even here, let's kind of bring it up. Although these kind of this one is too saturated for me, so let's make something darker, a little more darker. Oh, so we're working on some of the kind of shadows and stuff. Oh, even the walls are kind of, they don't have variation in value. Something darker. Darker. Let's be playful. Let's be bold. Bold. Arigataimasu, senpai. Wow. I think we are transcending space and time. You know what? Let's suggest some of that kind of breaks. Just to you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have used this brush. It's too thick. Ooh. Yeah. Oh. You know what? Is it working or is it too much? I think it's fine. Oh, see, you know what? I think I'm overdoing. I am kind of completing the entire thing. You know what? Let's put all the colors. Let's add a kind of mask. And kind of hide things we don't like. Okay, just a little bit of that. Just a little bit to kind of help tone things down just a little bit. Is it working? I think so. Okay, it's kind of let's turn the yeah, I think it helps kind of tone things down just a little bit and make it not look kind of filled up. Oh shit. So it's been 45 minutes back. Nice. But I do like it. So whatever. And you know what? Maybe we'll add some color pencils. And if you go to the Marker Brush Pack kind of product page, you'll find the kind of pencils in a different set. And they're designed for more sketching stuff. And they do have a kind of set color for graphite sketches, but you can use them for because I've seen people kind of render out, or they have kind of pencils along with their kind of as a kind of supplementary rendering technique, or yeah, for their kind of marker sketches. And I think it adds a little more kind of let's make it an 8 kind of it just adds more, you know. Shit, come on. What is happening? Now, though, make sure that the color pencils are not in the kind of color folders, because all of these kind of marker strokes are in a kind of multiply blending mode. So yeah, make sure your color pencils are on top of all of that in a new kind of folder that's not in that multiply blending mode, because you need to kind of be able to see your pencil marks. Let's add some smoothing to make it more okay, just a little bit, and maybe a little bit of that kind of light stuff to kind of help fade out the right. Now let's not overdo this, Dave. Relax. Relax. Alright. And then maybe a little bit of those blacks just to make that shadow a little more apparent. And maybe just some of that. See? It just adds a little more texture, I guess. Or am I overdoing it? I think I am. Whatever. You know, I feel like there's so much going on here, so let's just erase that. And we can suggest those kind of because you can see here there are kind of dips. So we can kind of suggest that a little bit. Okay, that's good. I think that's good enough. See that? You can kind of go over the blacks and stuff, and it doesn't have to be totally final. Just a little more kind of random strokes, energetic ones. And then, so okay, I think that, let's just add a little more. Little of that. Make it lighter. Okay, so I think that's good enough. Let's not overdo it. I think it's fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. Now we'll proceed with the kind of whites on top to kind of finish things off. We can go back and use this line or this kind of marker fine brush You know what? Let's do that. Let's make it an 8. Okay. So we're clicking white, selecting white. And what they do is they can help define edges even more. They're not just for kind of stylistic stuff. They can help define, say, the silhouette of something. So make sure that you don't overdo your pencil so you can kind of make space for your whites. And again, you can kind of be playful with them. And a little bit on the flooring. Although the flooring is not reflective, it's pretty close to a kind of matte look. But whatever. And then here we can kind of do that. See that? Ooh, very sketchy, right? And then there you go. And woo, and then woo, woo. I'm actually kind of playful with my lines and everything, really. I'm actually enjoying. And okay. It's a little sketchy, but I love it. I love it. Okay. Let's add in some whites there on the bottom. Whoa. Get checked. You know what? Let's do to not confident. Oh my god. Look at that. So I think that's good enough. Let's kind of do that, right? And now we can focus on the adjustment layers and kind of pump things up a bit, make it more yummy. I want to use the maybe the color balance. Let's go for the shadows and make it more bluish or purplish. Yeah, I want to make it kind of darker. Excuse me. Okay, just a little bit, just a little. Okay, there you go. Okay, I think that's kind of, it's too warm for me. Let's cool things down a bit. I don't know. We can do that, do that, do that, do that. I think I'm having trouble. This thing is overly warm, so we have to cool things down. Make it more blue. And then for the midtones, I don't know. You know what? Let's, yeah, it's not working for me. Maybe a gradient map might help. So when you're doing your adjustment layers to kind of make your sketch look a little more lively, you want to make sure that you have different options and not just depend on one thing. So let's do this. All right. Okay. Something of that nature. Shits. And then we'll set the kind of blending mode of that gradient map to say overlay. And then decrease the opacity to I don't know, 25. So did something, let's turn off the reference. Did something change? I think so. Because often what can happen is your sketch can become a little scattered, and by working on some adjustment layers, it can help kind of pull things together. Okay. Let's kind of remove the colors for a while. Jesus. I do I feel like there's a lot going on here. But again, it looks so lively. You know what? I'll keep it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look good. Enough. Let's make it more bluish. You know what? Let's make it normal. So this kind of blending mode, or the blending mode of the adjustment layer is set at normal and 25% opacity. Let's make it 15. And then let's make this, I don't know, a little more yellow. Okay. Maybe purple, just a little more purple, like a bluish violet. Shit, damn it. Okay, is it working? I want to assign the blues to be more in the kind of darker strokes and shadows. Oh, I don't have the shadows on, but I do want the kind of and a lot of the adjustment layer stuff is just trial and error, and thankfully you can kind of see the changes live, and you have the ability to kind of go back and forth with your sketches or overlay. Yeah, overlay did nothing. Perhaps a color. I think it did something. Although it may just be kind of making things worse. Let's just stick to the normal. Alright. Make it 10%. Just I feel like there's so much color on the shadows. That's good enough. Because I want something to, if we turn that off, I want something to complement the, you know what, do I even need that? I don't think so. You know what, let's try another adjustment layer. Maybe we need the vibrance. Let's just pump it up to about 50. The saturation to about 30. It's too strong. 25? 20, come on. Okay. Maybe 10. 15. Damn it, 15. Yeah, okay, it's a little more lively now and less dead. See that? It's kind of grayish, but if you turn the vibrance on, boom. There's a little more life. So it's 59 minutes now. You know, if I had a kind of solid process for these kinds of sketches, I would have done this in 30 minutes. I could have done this in 30 minutes or less even. But we don't have one. You know what? Let's do a color balance and make it just we'll work on the midtones and make it more bluish. And even the shadows. Blue, or maybe this blue. Nah. Purple. Nah, green. No, just a little blue. Just a little bit. Just there you go. Back to the midtones. Kind of just do that. And And we can kind of, whenever you're working on adjustment layers, you do have an automatic kind of mask, clipping mask, not clipping mask, a kind of a, mask, delete, to kind of help you hide or show things if you want. So for that, we're going to, you know what, let's use a brush for that. Let's say this guy. And we can, shit. And then kind of purposely show things that we would like to be more blue. Is it working? Maybe it's too strong. Maybe a 50% opacity. Yeah, it's as if nothing happened. You know what? Let's flip the canvas horizontally, and okay, it's not entirely bad. Damn. You know what? I feel like there's so much going on here, and I think we can go further and hide things even more. Okay. You can click on X and just hide this part more. Maybe do that. Maybe do that. Then X. Am I erasing too much? And in that way, we can kind of show some of the original line work, and not everything has to be colored. Because I feel like everything is being taken away, and I think that's much better actually. You see that? It kind of helps your eye kind of focus a little more. Now I do suggest you learn how to use masking techniques, so you won't exactly have to erase, and you're kind of just focusing on hiding or showing things. And see that? Okay. Let's flip it again horizontally. And I do advise that you have some kind of shortcut to kind of flip your canvas horizontally and vertically, or at the very least horizontally, because it helps you kind of see things in a different angle, right? And Photoshop is freezing. Let's... Shit. Sorry. Let's not give up. Let's not give up on the maybe hue and saturation. Make it more... Whoa. What happens if we kind of play with the... Yeah, I'm wasting time right now. Come on, let's find something better. Maybe graded maps again. Let's go for this and then change this to a... I do want some blues in my work. And then click on color or overlay. And then just tone that down to about 25%. Okay. And then maybe just hide things again using the clipping mask thing. Okay. So the gradient maps are helping a little bit. Again, I'm doing this to kind of vary up because if you zoom out, it's a little too warm for me. But if I just do that, add that kind of graded map, it can kind of add some cools to the whole thing. And then make sure to use or take advantage of the clipping mask or the mask option to kind of show or hide things as you see fit. Okay. So it's about 1 hour and 7 minutes. Let's finish things up with the kind of finisher phase where we essentially select or create a kind of flattened version of the whole thing. And we click on Control-Shift-C, Control-Shift-V. Alright, so now we have a flattened version of the whole thing. And the reason why we do this is because we want to work on the finisher phase. Now the finisher phase is where I use the color dodge tool, the burn tool, and the sponge tool. The sponge tool specifically to saturate a certain area a little more. So we'll start with the burn tool. The burn tool is set at the midtones and the exposure is at 50%. And we're using a soft brush, the kind of default one in you know what, let's go for the shadows. Wow. Right? It can help darken things up a little more. Whoa, you see that? You see those changes? Just a little bit, just a little. Okay, that's enough. And then what's next? What do we do next? We go for the sponge tool and we make sure that we are in the saturate mode. And right now the flow is set at 70%. Again, using the soft brush. We want a little more color here, right? A little more liveliness here because it's getting too dark, and you want to save the saturation for the actual colored parts, usually in the lighter area. See that? A little bit of there, a little bit of saturation over here, right? Lighter area. See that? Oh, look, it's looking good. It's looking good. Better at the very least. Okay. Okay. And now the final one. Excuse me. And now for the final step, we use the color dodge tool. Okay, and the color dodge tool is set, or the range is set on the highlights, and the exposure is at 20%. So let's just kind of test it out and see how it goes. Is it too strong? And I would use the color dodge tool sparingly and just let it be kind of a, what's the best way to kind of I do like the couch, right? So maybe we'll do one swoop to the couch. The brush is too big, kind of like that. Maybe we'll set the range to midtones. We'll see. Yeah, maybe 50% exposure. %70 exposure. I guess it works. Okay. And maybe we'll go back to highlights. And then... wow. %50 exposure, just like that. So altogether, this is the kind of sketch, the flattened version, and then with the finisher moves, flattened version, finisher moves. Is it too strong? Let's decrease the opacity just a bit. Say 70%. Maybe it's too strong, perhaps 50%. I think 50% is it's a good enough, and it's not too painful on the eyes. Alright, so what we can do now is create a new copy of that. Control-Shift-C, Control-V, a new flattened version. Right? And then now we can do the resizing. Now I do this specifically for Instagram, so I kind of excuse me. So it looks good, and I do want some kind of white space in the edges. I don't want the sketch to completely fill out the frame. Just like that. I think that's good enough. Let's see. I think it's good. Maybe just a little more. Just a pinch. There you go. That's enough. That's enough. Okay, I think that's a good. Oh, it's kind of too small. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, so that is the sketch for you folks, and I hope you learned something. So just to make it clear, this is what the kind of original with just the blacks and lines and stuff looks like, and then the colored version. Oh shit. And then the okay, this is dumb. Oh shit, sorry. So that's the original one, and then the one with the colors and stuff. So maybe I overdid it a little bit, or it still feels kind of scattered, but it's way better than my previous sketches, because this one feels more vibrant and more kind of energetic. And next time I want to control the colors a little more, because if you focus, or if you look at or observe the kind of blacks and the kind of lines and stuff, it's a little more controlled. Although sketchy and very energetic and dynamic, it is kind of controlled and kind of well done compared to the colors, which is kind of all over the place, right? You know what? Let's try masking this thing. Just for fun. Do this. And then, oops. Let's reverse the mask. Does it work? Do you guys like it? Or is it like, again, I'm talking to myself here, so whatever. But, does it work? Maybe we'll make it thinner. What do you guys think? Or maybe I'll post both. Because I can. You damn right I can. America. Or maybe not. It's fine. I'm not worried about it too much. Anyway, you've seen the blacks version, or the black version of it. This one looks way prettier though. I still like this way more than the this. Which one should I post? You know what? Fuck it. Let's be ballsy here and just post this one. Okay. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you learned something in terms of the process of sketching digitally with some marker brushes, or any marker brushes. This could even apply traditionally. No, it won't. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. In the shit. Blah, 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 blah. Bye.